When I heard about Habitat for Humanity, I felt that it was completely different to what other programs and agencies were preaching. They were saying, stay home, don't work, don't do anything, and we'll support you. Habitat was telling me, in order for you to maintain a house that we're gonna build for you, you have to have a job. You have to be responsible for that property. You are not a renter anymore. Now you're gonna be your own landlord. Habitat gave me that opportunity, and I knew I had that in me.
Home equals peace.
Home equals neighborhood.
Equality.
My own space.
Peace.
Family.
A safe place for our children.
A safe place to raise our family.
And a place to create memories.
Safety.
My own space.
My peace and my happiness.
A sense of pride and accomplishment.
A future for my children.
Stability for generations to come.
When I started the process of being a participant with Habitat for Humanity, I was living in a single home with 2 bedrooms. I had 3 boys. My middle son, the 11-year-old, was diagnosed with cerebral palsy a year after he was born. So he ambulated in a wheelchair. The bathroom was so small that I couldn't put the chair inside the bathroom. So I have to leave the wheelchair outside the door and lift my son to the toilet, to the bathroom, to give him a shower. And by then, 11 years old, he was taller and heavier than me. So it was causing my body to go through a lot of stress and a lot of pain. There was a doctor that has seen me in one of those pain attacks. He wrote a letter and he said if Raquel doesn't get the help that she needs and she continues to lift her son, she's gonna end up in a wheelchair. So I knew that I needed help, and that's why I was going all over the place to see who was gonna listen to me. Once they saw what I was going through, they decided that they were gonna help me. And I felt very, very emotional because it was a prayer that I kept in my heart and in my mind. And I knew that God was gonna show for me and help me in one way or another.
You know, growing up in the public market area, everybody had a home that they rented, and we had a home that we owned, and we took care of it, and we groomed it, and we were stewards of it. And it was, hey, pick up garbage outside or mow the lawn, and we were so proud of this house that really just changed our lives.
That home gave Lamoille independence. And by giving my son independence, and independence meant an over-the-head Hoyer lift that was placed in his bedroom, extra room in his bathroom where he can go into the bathroom with the wheelchair. The house also had an intercom that allowed him to speak to the person at the front door. All of that gave my son independence, and by giving him the independence, it gave me time to get more involved in the community.
That home, you know, the fact that it gave my mom a certain level of independence from my brother, you know, really catapulted her life. She was able to get me involved into more programs and get us to volunteer and to do those side jobs working at the public market. On a financial side to it, we were able to use that house as a down payment on this house. It's a financial foundation of your life to own a home. Instead of her rent being $500, her mortgage was $260, and it's crazy for me to think of now, you know, how much $100 or $90 meant to us. You know, I didn't know that we only ate meat twice a week and we had to budget, but it all makes sense now.
The people that were working for Habitat, they were not to making a profit or trying to sell you a house with cheap materials. They were building from their hearts.
And that home gave her the stability. It gave her the little bit of extra money that she didn't have to pay in rent. It gave her the security to not have to break her back to pick up Lemuel. It truly was our foundation and the work ethic that got us there, because it wasn't a handout, it was a hand up. We were so blessed to have that house that we had to respect it. Financially, it was a huge stepping stone in our family. With that house, the equity from that house, we were able to buy a house with an in-law for her and take care of each other the same way we always have. My mom was my mother and my father. And she always taught me that the more we have, the more that we have to give. And that's just part of our lives every day. So watching Habitat for Humanity and everybody coming and building a house for my brother and for my mother, it just transcended.
What would my life have been without the Habitat home? I would have probably ended up in a hospital, in a wheelchair, unable to work, and then the government would have had to take care of Lemuel and take care of me as well. But I believe that programs like Habitat should be more common, and they continue to exist because that changed our lives forever.
I can't imagine giving something to my great-grandchildren, and that home was the beginning of it. It just blows my mind to think that she's gonna benefit and that her children are gonna benefit from what we're building today.
Home means laughter.